right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 573. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. As always, we're joined by a man who's also suing Fortnite over his patented dance moves, Wombat.
Yeah, everybody's doing the staying in the corner. Spending your V-Bucks for staying in the corner.
I think your dance move would be like, give me a game review code.
I don't think that's
Gimme
that's
it. Gimme.
No, I usually don't do that. I don't.
Shipwreck, what would Wombat's emote be?
I don't say that. That's rude.
You would say, you got any more of them?
Usually it's me replying to an email that I'm sent, and they say, would you like one? And then I say, yes, please.
How about two?
I've done that before also.
But only to get them for us.
Yes,
awesome.
to get it for you and Shipwreck.
You are awesome. How about your emote is you being just extraordinarily generous?
Yeah, exactly.
Giving.
Uh-huh. That's me.
Just your hands
Captain
are open,
generous.
Arms open, everything just flowing out of you.
Exactly. Yeah, like Jesus. 'Tis the season.
Was that like Jesus? Everything's flowing out of him? I'm not sure.
Yeah, when they stabbed him in the stomach. Isn't that what happened, Shipwreck? You know better than me.
Yes.
Just pretend you can't hear him.
Like Jesus. Right.
Yeah, see? Mm-hmm.
All right, well, welcome to the show,
Got a big
everybody.
holiday coming up.
Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm. Birthday, I believe.
I have my house lights set up in Christmas colors.
Awesome.
Nice.
Although I feel like if I don't light up something, people are just going to know that a Jew lives there.
So
I just, I want to hedge my bets. You want people to be guessing. You don't want them to really know for sure. Like, the lights were blue during Hanukkah, but they're green and red during Christmas. So, maybe
you know what that means.
Maybe he's half.
That's how you know where the terrorists live, because they're trying too hard to fit in.
I think everybody appreciates a good minimalist light show.
Terrorist house. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, what are the terrorist colors? I need to light those up.
Mm-hmm.
Red, I guess. Just
red. Red. Make sure you have that green in there so there's no mistakes.
Yes. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. We have our last show of the year. We're going to talk about our favorite games of 2018, not the best games of 2018, because we didn't play a lot of games. And that would be silly for us to say that we know what the best games are.
Yeah, we didn't play everything, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting one this year.
It seems there's a lot of games coming out all the time, and they seem to be getting longer and longer, some of these games.
And some of them aren't necessarily worth talking about all that much.
But
that's a whole other
thing.
Too.
But anyway, we'll be talking about our favorite games a little later in the show. Shipwreck still needs to pick his, so we have to stall for time.
I'm thinking my way through it. Doing it live.
Just like Bill O'Reilly.
Yep. So can I tell you what happened to me tonight?
Please.
So, in this, I've never done this before. This is a first in 10 years of commuting. I missed my stop.
Okay.
Coming home.
Okay.
And I had to get off at the next stop.
You were sleeping.
I wasn't even sleeping. I was just kind of just not paying attention.
You were watching something on your phone?
I had my headphones on. I was looking out the window, and usually the train I take on the second stop, but the train I was on, it was the first stop.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah, so I'm just attuned to it. I took one train earlier, but mostly because my wife and my daughter have Girl Scouts tonight, and I was trying to be a good husband to get Elliot so he wasn't bothering the girls during Girl Scouts. So not only did I go one stop too many, I couldn't get picked up because my wife was at Girl Scouts. And then, so I walked down and I'm like, you know what? I'll just take the taxi from, Massapequa to Massapequa Park. Couldn't be more than like $5. I walk down, there's a lineup of taxis. Every single one of them is empty.
Okay.
No, like not even a driver.
Oh, just cars standing there.
Just cars with the lights off, turned off, sitting there that say yellow cab on it. And I'm looking around going, oh, there must be a dispatcher somewhere, and I just need to go and find someone to talk to. Couldn't find a person to talk to. It's not that big a station.
Uber. What about Uber?
I thought about that, but then I'm like, by the time I wait for someone to get there.
It's slow out on Long Island. You don't get fast Uber response, really.
I'm like, so I walked it.
Whoa.
I walked to my car one station away. It was probably a little over a mile.
Oh, big deal.
Yeah, not terrible, but the walk was along Sunrise Highway with no sidewalk.
Oh, that's not a good walk.
So my feet are killing me. And it was dark, and it was in an area. For those who aren't aware, the Massapequa Preserve, in the last couple of years, dead bodies have been found in there.
Oh, those are the killing fields.
Yeah. So that's what I was walking along in the dark at night alone to get to my car.
Oh, so now your shoes are blood soaked.
Oh, it was not the most fun. It was not. And you know what the funny part is? I still got to my son before Girl Scouts started.
I just would have said that he's on his own.
Nope. I did my due diligence. I picked him up. It took me, the whole walk probably took me like 15, 20 minutes. But
You're a hero.
Oh,
That's
don't do that.
Ty walks 20 minutes to school every day.
So he's only like 6 years old.
Although I drive him when it's cold out, like today.
Yeah, see? No one drives me anywhere.
And I drive everybody everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's because you have one car
That's right. And one driver.
and one driver.
All right, let's do some show feedback.
Sure. I got a handful of comments about this, and maybe you, Shipwreck, got different comments than I did.
Okay.
I didn't find one person that agreed with you. Solid Dragon has to say, just to pitch in my 2 cents in the whole Iron Man being bankable debate, without a doubt, Iron Man right now is absolutely bankable. I'd love to play an Insomniac developed Iron Man game. Can you imagine the depth of different suits to be able to use? Dude, get this game made ASAP and take my monies. I agree. I think it would be awesome. No one is saying that Spider-Man is not bankable, or even a little more bankable. But to say that Iron Man isn't bankable at all, or comparably bankable, is still kind of crazy.
What if they get Robert Downey Jr. to do the voice in the game?
Yeah, I still don't think it's that crazy. I think Spider-Man comes with a lot more pre-built in sales potential than an Iron Man game.
I would say you were right 10 years ago. I'd say now
I'd say I'm still right
that
now.
difference is slim. I think the difference is slimmer than you think. Iron Man is a pretty big deal, especially if they got Robert Downey Jr. to voice it. Could you imagine that? That would be
That's not gonna
bananas.
happen.
It's not as marketable. It really isn't. Like, Spider-Man appeals to every age, and parents will buy Spider-Man.
My
Not as many parents are up for-
my son prefers Iron Man to Spider-Man.
That's fine. My son doesn't know who Iron Man is.
Your son is like 2, though.
Exactly. He knows
And
who
also,
Spider-Man is.
he lives in your house, so he's gonna know who Spider-Man is.
He knows who Spider-Man is, like, coming out of the womb. Like,
Yeah,
wait,
exactly. That's because it's
point.
your house. That's more you than I think I think that's more nurture than nature.
I think you are a bit skewed on how similar Iron Man and Spider-Man are. There's 3 superheroes. There's Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man that are on a completely different tier than all the rest of the superheroes.
But a Superman game wouldn't be guaranteed to be great. I think an Iron Man game.
Wait! You're telling me the Iron Man game is guaranteed to be great?
I'm not saying
if it's a great Superman game, it would sell so much more than an Iron Man game.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna say it. I don't know. I think Iron
People
Man
go
is
to
more
watch
bankable than
ridiculously shitty Superman movies.
they do, but not as many people that go to watch really good Iron Man movies.
But you're not comparing this. You're completely messing up the comparison there. You're saying that not as many people would buy a shitty Superman game as would a great Iron Man game.
I'm just saying
That's
to
a
say that
great
Iron Man
argument.
doesn't. I'll just say that Iron Man isn't in the conversation. He's
not.
is
He's
weird
not.
to me.
He's not on the same level as Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. He
No, but
simply
he's
is
not-
not.
The Holy Trinity?
But
They
you're-
are.
we're
Like, those
talking
are the
like
three that, like,
99 against
people, like,
100. That's if
randomly
Spider-
get like
if
tattoos of,
Spider-Man,
or you like
Batman, and
drive down
Superman-
the street and you see those people's like logos on stuff. Like, it's just
My
not
son has an Iron Man bicycle.
great.
Does he have an Iron Man tattoo yet?
Not
Are we
yet.
going to compare the number of Iron Man bicycles sold to Spider-Man bicycles? Because I think you're going to lose that one as well.
I don't know.
I do know.
Yeah, I mean, I see what Wombat's saying, and that Iron Man had a really big comeback in a really big way with the whole Marvel movie franchise. But Spider-Man's also been around forever, and he never really went anywhere. You know,
Except for when he made those 2 crappy movies
but
in
he
the
was
middle there.
which
Those
2 crappy
middle-
ones? Oh, the last 2 before this,
The Andrew Garfield ones.
Yeah, but people can just ignore those. It didn't really. I think it affected Spider-Man's bankability at all. It was just like, all right, for some reason they decided to make new Spider-Man movies. Whatever.
Those are bad movies.
The
I
whole
would
reason
say
Iron Man has movies is because Marvel didn't have Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, I know. And I'm saying that Marvel did a great job of making Iron Man recognizable and bankable. And that you would be 100% correct if it was 11 years ago, 10 years ago. But now it's like, again, if Spider-Man is number 1, Iron Man would be one and a half, whatever. Not quite
No.
2,
No,
but 1.5.
no, ridiculous.
1.7.
Why are you not saying Captain America is at the same level as Iron Man? Because those 2 are at the same level.
They are very close. I think Iron Man might get the edge.
can you make a
because of the
pyramid? Can you
movies.
draw a pyramid ship?
I know it's like
With,
it would be so slight. Slight.
What would be the best chart to illustrate the differences in popularities between superheroes? What type of chart?
I think a pyramid would be fine
Pyramid
because
would be
in that top triangle you would have Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman.
Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that Iron Man
And then
is like right
that top
below
of that
it.
pyramid shoots off into outer space, and then you several
I'm just
layers
right-
down.
I'm
Then
saying
you get
Iron
back
Man
to
is
like
so-
Iron Man, and
Iron Man's as close to that part of the pyramid as you could be without being in that part of the pyramid. That's what I'm saying.
he's second tier. I agree.
Yeah, but he's like the top of the second tier.
He's second tier. He's right where he should be at.
Whatever. I wanted this Iron Man game to be made now so we could see what happens.
Oh, in a week, you mean?
Yeah, no, like in the next 2-3 years.
Oh, okay.
I want Insomniac to say instead of making Spider-Man 2,
Instead
we're
of
gonna make
instead
Iron
of
Man.
making the thing that's guaranteed to be like a huge hit, we're gonna set Spider-Man aside, and then Insomniac's gonna work on an Iron Man game.
And they're gonna make Iron Man and said, you know what? I think people would be a lot less upset than you think they would be.
No, I think you're wrong on that as well.
How about Insomniac Hong Kong works on the
Yes,
Iron Man game.
that is the proper tier level.
But they don't exist, but they could exist.
I'm done with this. Let's talk about something else. What movies have we seen?
Iron Man.
I saw a movie. It was that
We
new
all saw a
animated
movie.
Iron Man film that hit theaters.
I would watch that. That wouldn't work, and that would not work. I can't imagine
We
that.
finally got to the right conclusion.
Yes, that would not work. That I agree with you on. Iron Man video game would be amazing. But anyway,
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
We all saw it.
Yeah, it's
Not
very good.
together.
No.
We
We saw it at
all
the same time, just in different states.
freaky.
No, I saw it a different day than you.
I was talking about Cheapy and me.
Oh, excuse me.
We're bonded.
Mm-hmm.
Soul brothers. So we all really liked it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's absurdly good. It should win animated film of the year because I've seen all those animated films, and this is the best one.
It sure had a unique style that sometimes it looked like live action. Sometimes it clearly looked like a comic book. And sometimes, when there's a lot of I don't know under which situations, but my brain had trouble distinguishing it from live action, which I thought was pretty cool. Really liked the music, really liked Nicolas Cage. And I don't know. Could have used more Spider-Ham.
I maybe, but I think it was the appropriate amount for the tone of the movie.
Well,
Would you watch a Spider-Ham movie?
would I don't honestly, I don't know anything about
in the
Spider-Man.
theaters? No.
I don't really know anything about him, but the way
It's like Looney Tunes, basically.
right, I figured
It
that
isn't,
from the
though.
movie.
Spider-Ham comics weren't really like Looney Tunes. They made them like Looney Tunes in the movie.
Yeah, but I
Whatever.
mean,
I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of Spider-Ham comics.
sure.
Captain America.
I thought it was really smart how they don't really introduce the other Spider people until way, way into the movie, because it's a lot of characters to digest, and it was like you said, Chip. It was smart. There wasn't too much Spider-Ham. It was smart. There wasn't too much of all the other Spider people.
I like how they
can't
did
really-
all of their backstories, like who they were. I liked how they did that.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
Fun movie. So fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Emmeline really enjoyed it as well. She came out of the theater and immediately wanted to know the origin story of how the spider got radiated.
Mm.
In a lab.
Oh well, but it doesn't explain that at all in this movie. Like,
I know, but you should know.
well, yeah, but I don't know.
Yes,
I'm
you
not sure.
do.
I'm not.
Well, it
I
had
don't know,
some
but they've
company's
got
name
the
on
next
it.
one. Yeah,
Mhm.
but why did they make that spider?
Oh, why?
Yeah, these are the questions that she was asking. Like,
They were testing the effects of radiation on spiders
mm-hmm.
to see what happens.
But why?
Why
to
would
see how
they do
long
that?
to see how long they would live for.
But why,
To
Daddy?
see how dangerous the radiation is.
But why are they killing the
Why
spiders?
why was
Daddy?
Kingpin doing that?
He's not. Osborn
not?
was doing it.
It was Archimex, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that Kingpin?
I don't know. I thought it was Osborn.
I thought that's Oscorp.
That Oscorp is Osborn, but you know.
Anyway, it was cool. I
No,
really liked
it was very good. It like there was enough twists on the different characters that it wasn't the same Spider-Man story. It's familiar but different.
Yep.
Mhm.
There was a nice moral for the kids, for the children, that was discernible to them, and not shoved down their throat. Yet not shoved down their throat. So there's something to talk
Nope.
about after the movie, which is nice.
Mhm.
Prowler was in it.
I didn't know
That was
Prowler.
cool.
Oh, okay.
That was my first Prowler experience.
He's directly below Iron Man.
No, I don't think
He's
so.
he's more than directly below. He's like 3 tiers below Iron Man. Ant-Man is directly below Iron Man.
Oh man, you have a lot of people on that second tier, don't you?
No, Ant-Man is 3rd tier. Iron Man is 2nd tier.
You guys
I
both
think
need to
Ant-Man's
make. Can you guys
further
both
down.
make pyramids and
sure.
just compare them to each other? It'd be
We'll
fun.
read them on the next show.
On Twitter, you post pictures. Be a good time.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yes, do it. You must. Sponsored by HelloFresh. Now you'll do it.
And now I would do it.
I know.
The food pyramid.
Right.
The Marvel food pyramid.
Contact them about sponsoring
Mhm.
your pyramid.
Have to figure out what Gamora goes on that whole thing. Sounds
Talk
like
about
pain.
a pyramid scheme. One thing I wanted to say is I joined, I don't even know how to say it, Cinemera? Cinemia. That's like the subscription movie thing. You know about that?
Okay. I don't. Is it like Movie Pass?
Yes.
Is that basically what it is? Like another Movie Pass?
It's like Movie Pass, but the reason that I joined this one is because they have a family plan. So you can say, oh, I want to watch 2 movies a month for 3 people, and it's going to cost, well, in this case, for me, that was $37 a month to do that. Now, it cost me a lot more just to see 1 movie a month with 3 people. So that seemed like a pretty good deal to me. So I did it, and I did the premium plan. So you can go to anything, even 4DX ship. So that's a really good deal if we go see a 4DX movie.
Can you imagine watching Spider-Verse in 4DX?
I heard it's amazing.
Yeah, that
I'm
I
sure.
would think
I
that
saw
would
it
be
in
pretty
3D and I
intense.
thought that was cool.
It might be too much, but it might.
Only one way to find out.
I can go now. I've already paid.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it's pretty cool. Saving
Cool.
monies.
Yeah, enjoy it while you can.
I know the problem is I have to pay for a year in advance to get the maximum savings.
And they're only going to be around for 6 months.
Right. But honestly, if they stay around for 6 months, I'll do okay.
You'll break even.
I'll do probably better than that, but it's close. Yeah, I guess break even.
That pricing structure seems more reasonable than the Movie Pass one, though.
Yeah, I mean $37 a month to see for 6 movie tickets, and I can see 4DX, IMAX, anything. That's fucking good. One 4DX ticket is $30.
So what other movie are you watching this month?
There's a lot. Actually, that I gotta say, I saw the Bumblebee trailer for the first time.
Looks good.
What the fuck? They have fucking Shockwave in there, and he looks like Shockwave, not like a dinosaur.
Yeah, no, they totally made this look like the original Transformers now.
I was like, wait, there's Starscream, and it looks like he's recognizable as Starscream.
Mhm.
So I would like to see that. And there's another movie.
Again, like the tone of the movie is correct as well with Transformers.
Right. It felt like I was watching a live action version of the 80s cartoon with with a lot of money injected into it. But no, I had like I don't know if I had chills, but like goosebumps maybe. Little goosebumps. I'm worried that is not going to be enough Decepticons. But no, then they saw Soundwave too. Shit. Yeah. And there's another movie coming out next week that's supposed to look pretty good. I forgot what it was.
Mary Poppins?
No.
I bought my tickets for that already.
Enjoy that.
I'm seeing that on Monday.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do, where are we? New releases?
Sure.
We got them.
Sure.
Smoke them if you got them.
We got them.
Did you get
What do we got?
Borderlands 2 VR? With PlayStation 4?
No, but I'm going to
VR?
talk about another VR game later.
Okay, but not that one.
Not that one. It's like an
look at
on-rails Borderlands, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know.
It has to be.
Did you get the plank game that I told you to get?
Oh, I did not get the plank game.
Wow, you suck.
I
Suck.
don't know that I want to be dizzy, though.
You suck.
I get dizzy just like when I tie my shoes and I stand up.
That's the whole point. That's why we needed to know what you thought.
But why do I want to... I want to get away from that feeling.
Because you wanted to, because for the show. Do the show and people need to hear about it.
They want to hear how I felt bad?
Yes.
I don't know. I'll try. I forgot.
Tycoon Joyride for PSVR.
Oh. Did you get that?
No, that's a PSVR game?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I gotta say, they have put out a lot of PSVR games. And
Lately, yeah. They lowered the price on that thing and
the quality
put out
of the
more
games are good. Like they're not
I still
they're
don't
not
have one, but
they're not it's not Assassin's Creed in VR or anything like that, but they're fun games.
They got that plank game. What else do you need?
Well, I'll tell you later.
All right then, I'm excited.
Maybe.
There's one new release that I'm playing. It's on all the consoles. I've been playing that Atari Flashback Classics.
Oh, what's your favorite Atari Flashback Classic?
I am not sure. That is a weird compilation. So I got the Switch version.
I'm gonna look. Yeah.
It's got the Switch version is all 3 volumes on one game, as opposed to having to get the three different volumes.
Okay.
And it's got
150 games.
50 games. It's got like your Haunted House and your Adventures and your Adventures 2 and your Haunted House 2s and your Centipedes and there's a lot. There's a lot on there.
Must have everything.
It has combat on it. It's got a lot of different versions of Breakout.
Right.
It is what you'd expect it to be in the sense that it's a lot of Atari games. And if that's something that appeals to you and you want all 150 of them in one package, then the Switch version is probably the way to go. I'd say it's probably still a little too high at $40.
What about these like classic collections? To me, like the most interesting thing is if they have stuff beyond the games, because for the most part, these games don't really hold up that.
Yeah,
well.
there's really not much. There's not a lot of. I know it sounds silly with it being 150, but there's not a lot of meat for 150.
Is there any like art or anything like special stuff to look at, like box art, like instructions, anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I don't. It kind of has the cartridge. When you flip through, it just shows the top of the cartridges.
The one where the cartridges didn't have the right artwork on it.
No, that was Sega Genesis collection.
That was a Sega Genesis. Sorry, because I've played this on Xbox One as well.
This is the Switch one is all 3 volumes in one, and on the Xbox and the PlayStation 4, you have to have the 3 different volumes. So you can't just buy one digital collection and have all 150 games on one thing on the PS4 and the Xbox One, only on the Switch. Which is why when they emailed me and said, hey, would you like a code for this game? Or if you'd like a review code, please let us know. I said, yeah, I'll take a review code. I don't mind having 150 Atari games that I can take with me wherever I go. You never know. That could be fun. Mm-hmm. I mean, it does have, it has the 2-player options, and with the Switch, that kind of works because it has the little controllers.
It does say that there's a classic artwork collection.
Yeah, maybe I missed it.
It says amazing archive of classic artwork. Amazing, Wombat. Come on, man. Be amazed.
I will say it was nice sitting on my couch and playing some Atari games while my wife was watching the Hallmark Channel. So I'll give it that.
When I think of Atari, I think back to playing at my friend Brett's house. He's the only one that had Atari on our block, and I think of him like getting into fist fights with his brother, and then me getting sent home.
Nice,
yeah,
good times.
Yeah, my Brett had a NES and Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and the Power Pad.
My friend Brett had no video games.
He sucks. That's the worst kind of Brett.
He had a twin sister that was pretty cute.
Exactly. Were your Bretts really into Def Leppard as well?
No.
Oh,
my friend Brett is into dudes.
Def Leppard or dudes? Def Leppard, not Def Leopards.
They are dudes. Definitely, he is not into jungle cats that are hard of hearing.
I'm into Def Leppard.
Huh?
I'm into Def Leppard.
Huh?
Stop it. Wombat's cracking himself up. Just to
I am. That
enjoy
was a funny
that
joke. Other people are laughing just because you aren't.
Okay. I think it's time for Switch Game or Not.
Okay.
Now, there's a big development in the Switch Game or Not world.
I noticed.
Now, let me find out the listener who put this together. Here it is. This is from @PoFigster. Is that what this says? Let me move it closer. PoFigster, @PoFigster, registered SwitchGameOrNot.com and created a Switch Game or Not that you can play yourself. And it randomly generates game titles and the amount of fake games, and it pulls the new Switch game releases, and you can fucking play, and it really works. It's really cool. So to show you how good it works, I pulled the fake games from SwitchGameOrNot.com, and we'll see if we can fool you guys today.
I'm sure you can.
I think we can, because there are some amazing titles this week that are real.
How about
Philippix Pieces?
That is a fake game. Good for you.
Good job.
Let's see if you can go 100% without fucking up one.
Oh gosh, that really makes me like have to sit here and look.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's play it that way. That's a fun way to do it. Like you get a certain number of strikes.
Instant tennis.
I say 3 strikes, and then I win.
Oh man, instant tennis is a real game.
That's a real game, baby. We did have basketball last week. Just basketball.
What about Quarantine Circular?
Which one? Quarantine? No, that's a real game made by Mike Bithell.
Quarantine Circular? Oh,
Yes, it's actually a sequel to something Circular. I forget. Sorry, that's a real game. That's 2 strikes.
Damn it, I suck.
Shipwreck, do you want to steal?
I
don't know.
What about Oxyjet? Oh no. What about apostrophe N for lore for stand?
That's a real game.
That's a real game, huh?
Yeah,
That's a real game, yeah.
Usually start words with apostrophe N. That's good. Good for
that's
business.
a game I've heard of, so yeah, even I knew that one.
Is that to get first in the phone book?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work in this case, but
Oxyjet?
no.
I already guessed that one. You're wasting our strikes.
Sorry.
You have like 5 strikes.
Lazy Galaxy Rebel Story?
It's bad.
Solar Flux. Oh no.
Load Soul Eat Flame?
ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
I think there's. Hold on.
Is that all of them?
You picked 2, right? Oh, there's
Yeah.
one more.
Julie's Sweets. Dang it.
They're delicious, by the way.
Blue Rider?
That's a real game. I own that game.
Oh.
That's a shmup.
I'm looking up Julie's Sweets. Oh, there it is. It's a
sounds like-
story-driven time
Porno.
management game.
Porno.
Making cupcakes and
Porno.
donuts. It's and porno.
Ivanok versus Eared Beast.
It's only $2.39, by the way. if you wanna pick that up this week.
Big Bash Boom?
That's a $30 game, Big Bash Boom.
Yeah, it's worth every penny, I'm sure.
All Might Tree, The Last Dreamer?
I mean, how good is this guy's Switch Game or Not website?
Yeah.
It's these. There's an for you in there, Wombat. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man.
Gnome's Garden?
Big Butoden.
Bing, 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 bing.
Okay.
I think it's
Wow.
pronounced Butoden, but I'm not sure.
It's fake, so it doesn't matter.
It's fake, so you can pronounce it, any way you want. It's correct.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. The system works. Good job. So yeah, go to Switch Game.
Good job. That's Pog Fister. Po Figster, not Pog Fister. They all blend
Pog
together.
Fister. Pog Fister.
Pog Fister. Pog Fister's a better name. Change that, Po Figster.
So change your name. Okay.
Change your name, damn it.
Should we do our favorite games of 2018?
Sure. I think at most it's going to be a top 3.
I have. Hold on.
So-
Let me get my notes ready. Hold on one second.
It's like a 3. I have maybe 3.
You have 3. Okay. Why is this? Okay. I have 5 games that I ranked.
Wow.
Well, here's my problem. My problem is that the 2 games I played the most of this year, that I enjoyed the most this year, came out technically in 2017.
I had a similar problem.
You know, if I was I mean, yes, I picked
Whoa, whoa,
Injustice
whoa, whoa,
2.
whoa, 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 whoa.
No, we're talking about the games I'm not allowed to pick.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Like,
sorry.
I picked Injustice 2 as my game of the year last year.
Right.
But it was my most played game on my Xbox this year.
You could
Right.
have picked the Legendary Edition this year. That came out this year.
There you go. And the game that I enjoyed the most this year is a game that I started this year, I think, or maybe like the last day of the year when you gifted it to both of us at the end of last year.
Uh-huh. Ghost Recon.
I mean, that is far and away my favorite game of the year,
Yes.
but I can't use it.
Well, that's not my favorite game of the year. That's my most played game of the year.
Yeah. For those
what
who don't know,
what was your count on that, Chip? How many hours?
I think it was 84.
What were yours, Wamba? You were over 100, right?
probably.
Wombat had like
Not as
150
much as
hours in that
Injustice.
game somehow because I could never figure out what he was doing.
I played that game. It's like, yeah, and for literally the first half of the year, I only played really 2 games. So I'm sort of like stuck in this. I don't know what to pick because I played Ghost Recon Wildlands. That's the game we're talking about, which was my favorite game of the year, and Injustice 2, which I already picked.
You did that. You did that Xbox thing where tells you how many hours you played and
Yeah, and for me it was Injustice 2. So, although I think
for me
that
it was
might be wonky
Overwatch. So
I feel like
I'm in
I
a
played
similar
more
situation.
Ghost Recon, but yeah, so it's sort of weird. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either. It's just it is what it is if we're talking about our favorite games of 2018.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even finish that many games. So I guess you go pick your number.
Let's count backwards. Am I the only one doing? Am I the only one who did my homework?
I'll pick something out of a hat.
Okay. I did a top 5 favorite. Again, like this doesn't really mean very much, but anyway, my number 5 game was Red Dead Redemption 2 because
you finished it and it's a game you own.
I finished. It met some criteria, which is that I finished it. I thought like parts of it were really amazing, like the way that it depicted the natural landscape. Like no game has done that in such a way. It's like photorealistic way where the lighting is amazing. Everything about it just looks amazing, and you can even just traveling through the world is interesting to a point. Everything is interesting until a certain number of hours. But I really just thought that was they did an amazing job. I never thought I would see, a game like that where it's beautiful. The mountains look beautiful and you can go to them and it's all interactive. That being said, the story, like I started to think that Wombat was right when he said that it's basically at the level of a CW drama. The writing quality and the story quality, because it took me 3 days to finish that game. It's like 74 hours or something like that. And like the story is just, to me, I didn't really have, I'm a sap, right? I didn't have very much emotional reaction to the story at all. And they really could have pulled my strings. Like it wouldn't have been that hard, but there's some just weird decisions made in that story. And I feel like they just really wanted to make a long story. Like that's the goal, was to just let's make it almost not impossible, but let's make sure that like 99% of the people who buy the game don't finish it. Like ensuring that nobody's going to sell it back to GameStop. And then maybe they'll check out when they've given up on finishing the story. Maybe they'll just swap over to the online mode and maybe we'll get a few shekels from them that way. But that's like the effect the story had on me. And that's why it's so low down on my list, I guess. So low at number 5. Do you think you're going to finish? 4? Do you think you're going to finish that Red Dead?
I have no idea. I literally have no idea.
What chapter are you on? 2?
3.
I mean, it's so fucking long, dude. I have no idea how people reviewed that game. I can't imagine. Like, even if it took me, when did that game come out? I mean, well over a month to finish that game. And like, I have a pretty liberal schedule. I'm sure the reviewers got, 2 weeks if they were lucky. Fuck, man. I can't imagine. I mean, seriously, like, I really want to I wish I knew somebody who finished it so I could get into like a discussion with them, but I don't know. I may have to do a spoiler cast by myself.
Yeah.
I can stick around for it.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess if I had to pick a number 5 game that came out this year, I think I would go with Forza Horizon 4? Is that the one that came out this year? I'm lost on the numbers. It's 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That game is great. It's more of the previous games. I mean, I didn't finish it for whatever it takes to finish that game, but I played a lot of it, so that's got to count for something. And yeah, that's a really good game.
I will tell you that I did not put that on my list.
It's more of the same.
Yep.
It's more of the same. It's probably not as good as 3. Because of the things they added to it that kind of suck.
I mean, they fucked the progression up of that game.
Yeah.
With those wheel spins for horns and jackets. I know Shipwreck really likes the jackets, but
The skirts.
I mean, I would found myself getting angry playing the game. Like for a wheel spin, just watching the wheel spins go around. Like, I don't know. And I stopped playing.
That also made my top 5. I'll put it in at number 5. That way.
Yeah, see, it's a good number
revisit it again.
5.
Yeah, I think it's probably higher than my number 5, but I'm fine sliding it at 5. It's on the same tier as these other ones.
Got to dock it a few points for those horns and clothing.
It's still
I know
really
it's
relaxing
amazing
to play, though, other than the wheel spins.
Yes, it is.
You could just sit there and play that for hours.
Sure, but you could play Forza Horizon 3 for hours, too.
Yeah, it's sure. This one has walls that you can knock over. That's
That
the
is
innovation.
cool.
It's good.
I'm bitter. You can tell I'm a little bitter. That's why I didn't. I'm holding them. I'm kicking them off my list because I'm bitter about the horns and the clothing. I'm just true. It did really like.
So what's your number 4 then?
Okay, number 4. I picked Far Cry 5.
All right, that's a good choice.
A lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that. I know. I don't think it reviewed that well. I think
it didn't. It didn't review well, and I don't disagree with you. I was actually leaning on it being my number 3, but since we're talking about it now,
yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, there's definitely parts of it that I didn't think were great, but for the most part, I thought that it was a great looking game. The story was interesting and the setting was interesting. Well, while some of the characters were very annoying and seemed to curse for no reason over and over again, I was pretty dedicated to getting to the end of the game to see what happened. And I think I liked the ending. I did like the ending. It was a very weird ending, and I'm down with weird endings. So there.
Cool.
I know these are like boring choices, like mainstream.
I was going to say, and this is one now, I don't know, if this probably also doesn't count, but they did that whole relaunch of that Middle-earth Shadow of War game. Remember how they got rid of all the microtransactions and kind of redid that whole game?
Mm-hmm.
I finished that game.
That came out at the end of 2017?
It came out at the end of 2017, but they had that huge patch for it where they kind of revamped the whole game.
Right.
So I'm going to put that as my number 4.
Sure.
Stop me.
No, I mean, I played a lot of that game.
I finished that game. And I would say, if anything, that if I have to put in something from this year to put it number 4, even though I didn't finish it, I got pretty close, I'm going to tie it with Strange Brigade, which I think is a nice little underrated.
That was my number 4.
Fun game. Yeah. And that game is on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass or you're thinking about Game Pass, that's a good reason to get it, because you can play Strange Brigade and a bunch of other new games that just came out.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Should I do number 3?
Sure. What's your number 3?
Okay. So this, right. I chose Astrobot. I'm only about halfway through. But this is the game that got the VR. I mean, that fucking VR headset has been sitting in the closet, literally sitting in the closet for a long ass time. And not only did that game get it out of the closet, it's kept it out of the closet. And it's gotten me to buy other PSVR games. Because it just does such a great take on the classic 3D platformer. And it makes a decent case for VR existing, which is, I think, what you're looking for in these games. I wish, Shipwreck. I'm excited for you to come play it in August.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it.
I think you'll really like it. It's just it'll make you smile. It's a really cute game, and it's very clever. The way they play with perspective in the game, like imagine playing a Super Mario 3D platformer, where the perspective is constantly changing. Sometimes you're way above Mario and you're looking down at him and he's, smaller, and sometimes he's like right in front of your face. I mean, you can see it could be pretty cool. Okay, so Astrobot is my choice for number 3 favorite game.
I already mentioned mine would probably be Far Cry 5.
Okay.
I would say overall, yes, that game is a disappointment from the stance of a Far Cry game, and that I wanted it to be my number 1 game of the year.
Oh, okay.
But But it was fine. I did finish it. I didn't hate it. I think coming
more box quotes for a while back.
Right.
I mean, you know what it was? I played that game right after I finished Ghost Recon Wildlands. And they're both made by this, I know they're made by different developers, but they're both, Ubisoft games. And so it just was such a downgrade and it was noticeable.
I hear you.
So, but it's not that I didn't like it. It's like anytime you were in the open world and doing the more open world type missions, it was a good game. When they shoehorned in the stories with the siblings, that's when the game kind of loses it. Because those missions tended to be not fun. But outside of that, I think there's a good framework there. I'm excited for what they're doing, this, what is it, April it comes out or whatever? February? So...
What's that?
We'll see how that
Ghost Recon?
works out. Far Cry 5. Play it now. I don't know.
We got number 2.
Oh, my number 3.
Yeah, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Yoku's Island Express.
That's a made-up game. Stop making shit up.
Is that the pinball one?
Yeah, that's the Dung Beetle pinball one.
Yeah.
That game is very enjoyable. I'm surprised you'd ever played that one, but
I'm lame. What do you want from me? I'm too busy still playing Diablo on the Xbox One. Again, I played more old stuff this year. I'm terrible. But anyway, talk about your shit beetle game.
That's the extent of it. It's just really well crafted, and I don't know. I like pinball.
It's a pinball platformer.
Pinball's good. And
Nice.
platforming, yes. Yeah. So it scratched a lot of itches there.
Yeah.
Number 2.
All right, number 2?
Sure.
Yeah, you're number 2.
Okay. My number 2 is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Mine too, so we could talk about it now together. I figured as much.
Played a lot of this. This is I think we've put in over 70 hours on this.
Yeah,
one.
I put in close to 30 hours, and that's. I think that's enough to make a decision.
And I will tell you for sure, my enjoyment of this game is boosted by the fact that I did not play the last one.
Yeah.
Played it very briefly, like an hour.
I don't even own the other one. I when they were both on sale for little monies, I was like, you know what? I'll get the new hotness and see how that is.
It's just tough when you go. I mean, how many 70 or more than 100-hour RPGs are you going to play by the same company in with a year apart from each other? It's not sustainable.
It depends, because if you're the kind of person and that's your franchise and those are the only 2 games you buy every 6 months,
too much.
then you're fine. It's a lot. I wouldn't want to go one right after another, but I'm kind of glad I didn't buy Origins and waited for Odyssey.
Yeah, Mrs. Cheapy wants everybody to know that this is her favorite game of the year. She thinks the graphics are better than Red Dead. The
horses control better than Red Dead.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. If you're looking for, like I said, Red Dead Redemption is really a horse riding simulator more than sort of anything else.
You just lost me on that game.
I know. Well, I'm not trying to sell it, but the reality
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
dude, the reality is you spend an incredible amount of time on the horse, and that's why they make it so you have to, that you can crash pretty easily. I mean, there's got to be some game in driving the horse. Like Assassin's Creed, you can't really crash the horse at all. You can drive right into a tree and it slows down and you go around it. But it would you're so much time on that damn horse in Red Dead that they have to make it part of the game.
Yep.
But it could be annoying. I get it. It could be annoying, but I think in Assassin's Creed, the combat is a lot of fun in it. And once you get to level, I don't know, 20, the high 25 to 30 range, I would say, you just start becoming a super badass and you got all these powers and everything. And I don't know, it's a lot more interesting certainly than the Red Dead combat. But yeah, the backdrop of Greece is pretty fucking awesome. It's pretty amazing. We say wow a lot while we're looking at the vistas, and there's a lot of wow moments in that game.
Yep, and some cool dress up too.
Some awesome dress up. I think Cassandra as the protagonist. If
I picked the dude.
I know you picked the dude, but I think, and I don't know what he's like, but I think that Cassandra is one of the best video game characters.
I think they're both exactly the same, but
I just like
one's a dude and one's a lady.
I like everything about her design. Like, it's so rare.
I feel like I probably should have picked the girl, and I don't know why I didn't, but whatever. It's sort of a bummer that you can't change it once you start the game. Because I'm in too deep now.
Oh yeah, you can't change it. But it's very rare when I play a game where I don't like everything about the main character, especially like a big long ass game like this. Mm-hmm. But I like everything about her, down to like the way they designed her physical appearance. Like her muscles are realistic for a big strong woman. Like it looks like she could exist, and it looks like she could also kick ass. It's great. Assassin's Creed Odyssey #2.
Yep, that's a good choice.
Ship?
What do you got?
I went with Dead Cells.
I almost bought that when it was on sale, and I didn't.
I played a lot of that, and I thought about adding it into my top 5.
Yeah, it's really good. I still have yet to finish it, but
me neither.
It's a really great rogue platformer. We've talked about it a lot in the past. Yep.
Yeah.
So does that means we all have the same #1 game this year, right?
Iron Man
the game.
Yes, we're
Insomniac's Iron
preemptively
Man.
giving it to Iron Man for the game that'll come out in 3 years.
Yes, everyone loves Iron Man.
No, it's Spider-Man.
Yes.
Oh, I picked Iron Man.
Silly.
I'm so silly.
Yeah,
I think I was the
that's
first one of the three of us to finish it. So go me.
That doesn't happen very often. That all
I know.
three of us finish the same game.
We all finished it. We all loved it. It has really cool costumes. It looks great. You feel like you're Spider-Man. And congratulations to Spider-Man for being awesome. I still haven't picked up the DLC yet.
I haven't either. Then the story was excellent. Like I needed to know what happened in the story. And the acting was very good. I don't know. I like it a lot.
As soon as that season pass goes on sale the first time, that'll be an insta buy, even if it's only like 10% off, just so I could justify it.
Also, it was long, but not needlessly long.
No, and I didn't 100% it, but I think I like 80-something%ed it, which for me is a lot.
Right.
Yeah. I unlocked all the costumes. That's all I cared about.
I didn't do that. I didn't really like a lot of the costumes. But that's
not
probably
the point.
just me.
I don't even know if I unlocked all the costumes, and I was like at 98% complete. I'm not sure how you did that.
There's one that you need to 100% the game to get. That's the underwear costume. But
okay,
not
so you're
the
saying
costume.
That you don't have all the costumes.
Underwear costume doesn't.
You're pretty much unasked for all the costumes.
He pretty much has all the costumes. Sorry, Wombat.
All the actual costumes.
That makes more sense to me.
That's like a joke costume.
That makes more sense to me than you saying you're 80% done and have all the costumes.
Anyway, that's not the point, Shipwreck. The point is that Spider-Man
I get it. I was just confused because I thought he had 100%ed it.
Because you're playing the semantics game, yes.
No,
it's your favorite thing to do.
just
we all know how you feel about semantics,
right? I just like it when
yes.
the word "all" means what it means.
Oh no. Come on, it's the holidays.
That costume isn't in the unlockable costume grid. It is a separate costume that's not part of that grid of the costumes that you can unlock in the game. So yes, it is separate.
Secret, even.
It's a secret extra costume for 100%ing. It's not part of the unlockable costume grid.
What do you say to that, Ship?
That's fine.
All right,
I still find it hard to believe like that you only have 80% complete and you somehow got enough challenge tokens or whatever they were.
He's saying you're lying, is what he's saying.
I could take a picture if you'd like to see.
No,
it.
I'm just surprised. Like
I have all the costumes except for that one underwear one because again, it's not part of that. Because at that point, I was like, I'll never wear that one, and it's not
your funds towards the costumes, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I didn't unlock gadgets. I unlocked costumes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's probably a good call because
I never needed them.
right. There's like you have your key
I
gadgets
never
that
had
you
any
wind up
use for those
using,
gadgets
and there's
in the
so many
game.
more. There's like it's like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna learn all these and
Yeah, I don't
Unnecessary.
care enough. Exactly.
kicking
You don't need
everyone's
them.
ass.
Mm-hmm. I'm Spider-Man. I could punch people just fine.
Right. All right. We did it. Those are our favorites of 2018.
Yep.
I don't know what else I have to say about that.
I don't know.
Do you want to talk about your things that were the exact opposite of your favorite?
Oh, your least favorite games of 2018?
I don't know about games, but
Least favorite things?
I guess
These are
gaming-
a few of my least favorite things.
I don't know. The one thing that I was thinking of, and I was talking to Mrs. Cheap about this last night as we were playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and looking through the store, the Ubisoft store that's built into the game, to buy all the skins and all.
Just like stores built into games in general is pretty lousy.
Yeah, pretty much. But I was thinking, like, do you remember when they first announced, we're gonna have the capability to sell content in games, and they announced it at E3 and Skater Girl and microtransactions and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We skipped the microtransactions and we went right to the macro transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Like we never really got like the little bits of content for 99 cents or I don't know. I guess that's about as micro as you could hope to get at 99 cents. But we never really did that. We went right to $5, $10, and now you got like fucking XP boosters for $10 that don't cost anything to make, which there's like no way to rationalize charging $10 for that.
No, that's pretty gross.
It's gross enough to even offer that, and I know it's a choice, blah blah blah, but you're basically saying, here's our art. If you give us $10, you can experience our art much faster. You can just rush through the art. It would be like
Technically speaking, if I bought that before I started playing the game, I'd be level 30 now instead of level 16.
yeah, you'd be past me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just a weird. The whole thought process and messaging behind it
That's
is
game-breakingly dumb too.
It's just
Because
it's
honestly, when you
weird.
progress in the story, I mean, right now I'm at the level that I need to be for the story.
Yeah, and you're sending the message that like what we've put in front of you, you really want to skip it, and it's worth money to skip it. It's like going to a museum and saying, "Hey, if you give us an extra $10, you can like skip the parts of the museum." Like I don't even know. Like it doesn't make it. It's just a weird thing, and I hate it, and I can't stop thinking about it.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? It's just we skipped the we skipped the micro, we went right to the macro.
Yep.
Bastards. Anything you want to say for your?
I mean, I would say disappointing sequels is probably that's what this year will probably be most remembered for. I think Far Cry 5, even though it made my list, was still a disappointment. Forza Horizon 4 was a disappointment, and obviously Fallout 76 was probably the biggest of those disappointments.
But they did warn you with a letter, so it's hard. They did.
You know
tell
what? You know what kind of bothers me about Fallout 76 the most
What's
at this
that?
point? It's not that the game doesn't really have much meat to it, because it kind of doesn't. They call Fallout 76 feels like it should mean something, like that whole allusion to 1976
Mm-hmm.
and 1776, and the centennial, the bicentennial. Then this game, it's the tricentennial.
Mhm.
And then they came out with the Tricentennial Edition, and the only thing that made that special is, it had an Uncle Sam hat and costume kind of a thing.
All right.
But the game itself doesn't lean into anything that's kind of tricentennially or allude to like the Revolutionary War in any way, like in the last one, Fallout 4. that took place in Boston. It had that whole thing with the Minutemen and all the different factions, and it was all based around American history and Boston culture. And it made sense that the game took place there because all of these people were ingrained in the history of that city and the history of the country. And even little things like, while you were in the stadium, when you were in the stadium, and all the different sections of town, and why all the different factions were where the different factions were. Again, it all made sense, and it was cohesive to the location and the plot of the game. So now we have Fallout 76, and you're in the vast forests of West Virginia.
It's not a lot of history there.
It's not. They don't even try to implement any kind of history there, and that's where I think the game falls short. I know a lot of people complain about other things, like it's buggy, or they wanted it to be, like an old, or like the previous Fallout games. But I think
you can't say they didn't warn you about any of this.
No, well, I think where the game fails on it, I don't think they warned you enough that this game wasn't going to go anywhere.
Well, I get what you're saying, Wombat.
They straight up came out at E3 and everybody went, "What is this?" And they told you exactly what it was. And then they came out and they sent another letter before it came out and said, "All right, guys, here we go. This is
going to be a rough ride."
Right.
Yeah, but I think that's like a technical. I think
but that's
letter.
Not what we're. Yeah, because that's not what we're. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you're going to call your game Fallout 76. It better mean something.
Well, I think, and more generally, the Fallout games, the environment is really a big part of the game, and had the personality of just the location.
And in this scenario, and they didn't just call it Fallout, Fallout 5 or Fallout 4.5. They gave it a name. Fallout New Vegas was called Fallout New Vegas for a reason. Why not just call it Fallout West Virginia? If you're going to call it Fallout 76, it should mean something. And it doesn't. And that's weird to me.
I think they've said it in West Virginia because they really just wanted, they didn't really want to do any of that stuff that you just
because they wanted it to be as brown and open as possible.
Right. And it's just a multiplayer sandbox for the most part, and they didn't want to inject that type of history into it. I guess that costs more money.
But when you take that away from Fallout, it's like,
yes, no, it makes sense. I get it.
So I don't know. They need to do something. They need to figure out why it's called Fallout 76. That's what they need to do.
Right. All right. Let's. Where are we here? Let's do a quick Wombat's Overwatch Onslaught. And
we never asked Shipwreck if there's something he hated from this year.
Oh, Shipwreck?
What did you hate other than me?
What did I hate? I was disappointed I wasn't in NBA 2K Playgrounds too.
Yeah, they got shafted in that.
Yeah,
I actually just checked recently to see if they added you, and they did not.
Have they not added me yet?
No, I checked
maybe still. Ago. Maybe that'll be the best thing of 2019.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Everybody's suing Epic Games over Fortnite dances.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Courtney Cox is now.
Is she? No. I mean, I think they're just hoping for a settlement.
A lot of these people that are suing didn't invent the dances.
No, they did not. Carlton did not invent the Carlton. The Backpack Kid did not invent the floss.
Right. So,
I don't even know who Backpack Kid is. Is that his name?
Yeah, that's his given name.
Is that actually a famous person who's known as Backpack Kid?
He was in a Katy Perry video, I believe. And yeah, I think if you were a 16-year-old girl, you would know.
I guess.
I don't know what to say. I think I don't know what they'll do. They probably don't.
No, these are going to probably get tossed.
They're not going to settle?
No,
they're going to get tossed.
Why would they settle? So the Carlton has been used in so many different areas over the last 20 years that he, first of all, did not copyright it to begin with. And
you
now,
can't actually. I looked it up.
Well, sure. But he's had 20 years of not claiming this thing or trying to protect it.
Right.
You just can't come in 20 years later and be taken seriously.
They basically, in the copyright law, it basically made it seem like moves that are like athletic celebrations, things like you would see in a touchdown celebration, are not copyrightable. And that's what these things seem most like to me. They're basically the equivalent of a dude spiking a football and doing his icky shuffle. So it sounds like, I don't know.
I like the Bengals reference there. Wow.
Thank you.
I don't think they're gonna make it past round one of court proceedings.
Right.
That's me not being a lawyer.
And none of these people have enough money to
Right.
to go to court with Epic.
Right. Right. Epic's made more money off of their emotes. They could pay all the legal fees just off of one of those dances.
Just off of the Carlton.
Just off of the Carlton. Yeah. All right, I want to hear about Shipwreck's illegal game consoles.
Yeah, which one did you play the most of?
Well, I only got one of them so far.
Oh, okay. Oh. So, which one?
I got the Anbernic handheld game console 3-inch, 168 games, retro FC game player, classic game console, 1 USB charge, birthday presents for children.
Oh, I love that.
That's
nice.
The full listing. It looks like it's since been removed from Amazon.
Oh man!
Wow.
I just get a
Poor
picture
Anbernic
of a dog now when I click on it. So yeah, this was like a $25 thing sold directly through Amazon.
Okay.
There's still plenty of these other like knockoff consoles on Amazon, so I don't know if they shut this one down or if they just were selling like hotcakes and they just ran out. I don't know, but so it's essentially the same form factor as a Game Boy Color. So slightly different dimensions, but essentially that form factor.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's just loaded up with 168 games. Some of them are just things like Super Mario Brothers, just straight up, hey, we stuck this ROM on here.
Okay.
Some of them are like Super Mario Brothers 14, where it's obviously somebody has gone in and modded things. And so that's, I think, more interesting than just putting Super Mario Brothers on there.
Okay.
There are things like Plants vs. Zombies, where somebody has taken Plants vs. Zombies and recoded it into a Nintendo ROM.
Why?
Because they could.
But okay. All right.
There's other things where like, so RBI baseball is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which alone, like the $25 is fine by me for just that. But like on the startup screen, there's a web address now for the company who has said that they have licensed RBI baseball, because I'm sure they definitely have.
Wait, so what version is it? NES?
NES, yeah.
Okay.
So it has like Donkey Kong on it?
No Donkey Kong. It's got 168 random games. They like the first 50 or so are just in like random order, and then after that they start getting alphabetical.
Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers is on. Super Mario Brothers is on there. Super Mario Brothers 3 is on there, and
not
Super
2?
Mario Brothers 14.
Oh. What happens in that
Captain American is on there.
What is that? Is that the actual Captain America and the Avengers game that came out?
Yes.
I like that game.
Yeah, it's got all the superhero games.
Oh, cool.
It's got the Batman, it's got Spider-Man.
That Sunsoft Batman game. Is it Batman the movie game, or is it Batman Revenge of the Joker?
One that had like the Joker on the cover.
Sorry.
Yeah, the movie game is better.
Sure. So these
does it have anticipation on it? I feel like anticipation should be on there.
No, I don't believe so. It has Kickmaster.
See.
Kickmaster is pretty good. I've never played that before. And that's an actual NES game that goes
Does
for
it
like
have Fist of the North Star?
Does it have what?
Fist of the North Star.
I'm not positive on that one. It sounds like something they might have thrown on there.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm like trying to think of like weird games that they might throw in there.
It's got the Japanese versions of the River City games.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a weird, like, not at all thought out product. but it's got like a rechargeable battery.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There's definitely a Turtles game on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Jaws. There's Street Fighter 5.
What?
I don't think so.
It's somebody programmed a NES version of Street Fighter.
Why? What? Just so they could shove it onto these $30.
Well, no, I'm sure they didn't do it for this. I'm sure somebody did that in their own, like, just for fun. And then these companies go out and grab those ROMs and stick them on these things.
Wow.
But
sounds like you're happy with your purchase, though.
I'm happy with how ludicrous that this thing is, and that Amazon just has like so many of these different things.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe you should have held out and gotten that Soulja Boy one that's going to play Super Smash Brothers.
No, that was fake. That was a fake thing you tweeted at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that one's out there. He's just selling the same ones for like twice as much as what.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's the same exact thing. So I don't condone purchasing these, but at the same time,
they're funny.
They're funny to have. And just to like flip through and see the dumb stuff on there, and then maybe play some RBI baseball.
All right.
So yeah, it's the Anbernic handheld game console 3-inch, 168 games, retro FC game player, classic game console, 1 USB charge, birthday presents for children. If you just type that in, it'll bring it right up.
All right, what else is going on?
Picture of a dog right up on Amazon.
Gotcha. That means they don't have it. That means they deleted the page.
Yeah. Right. It was too hot.
Yeah. Soulja Boy. Had to shut him down. I got a couple of new games for PS4. I rented Detroit Become Human from my local library, and we played only through the first little mission. It's pretty good so far. Miss Cheapy was into it. She likes robot stories. I also picked up Beat Saber, which is another VR game.
Okay.
That it's a music game where you're holding Move controllers in VR, and each one is a lightsaber, and cubes are coming at you with arrows on them, and you have to slice the cubes in the direction that the arrows are showing and to the music. It's a familiar concept, but the idea of I think introducing lightsabers into anything is like a pretty good idea. And in VR, it really works well. And I played it for about 20 minutes or so. I just got it today. But I had to grab Mrs. Cheapy and have her try it out because I thought it was that cool. And she did agree that it was cool. The problem is if you get it on PC, you can download all these like user-made ones that have like real licensed songs, which is pretty awesome. But I don't think I'm going to buy a whole new VR rig just to do that. But it's pretty cool, I got to say. And you get some exercise doing it too, which is nice. So yeah, that's Beat Saber. Very cool. All right, should we do CAG Bag? Are we ready?
I think we are
Sure.
ready.
Okay. At Dave Matthew writes in and says, what do you all think about Game Pass for Xbox? They're constantly putting great games out on it. I bought for a year. It came with Forza 6 and Horizon 3. Great deal. Well, but it has Horizon 4 too, right?
The Horizon 4 is on Game Pass. Game Pass is totally worth it.
Any game that Microsoft publishes is on there instantly. So,
and a whole bunch of other new stuff like Ashen is on there, and Mutant Year Zero is on there. I have never played Ori and the Blind Forest, and that's coming this week.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff.
It's a great deal, and it also goes on sale a lot, so you can pick it up for half price. You can buy a whole year for half price.
Yeah, right now
you just
you
pay
can.
attention.
Yep.
At Kane Marston writes in and asks if we're getting the new Razer mouse and keyboard for the Xbox One. No, why? Why? That's the whole reason I'm on Xbox, is to get away from the mouse and keyboard. I don't know why anybody would do that. I think I speak for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
At AZN Wii says, I am torn between Xbox One X or PS Pro. I have a 4K TV and Xbox S. Is the Xbox One X worth the upgrade or PS Pro for exclusive? I don't know. That's a tough one. If you don't have a PlayStation,
Yeah, just go that route. It'll be.
I guess you have to do that.
I think that's the route to go at this point. If you have a PlayStation and you're just debating between the Pro and the X, then I think X is the way to go.
X is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dead on the X is a thing to behold. So is Assassin's Creed, honestly. All right, I think that's it. Are we happy to say that's it? Wombat, are you still here?
I'm still here. No, that works
Good.
for me.
Oh, Shipwreck, are you going to join me for a Red Dead spoiler after?
Are you seriously wanting to do that?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I have a lot of
sure.
problems.
I'll stick around if you want to.
Like 5 minutes, maybe. Yeah, let's just do that. I need to get some things off my chest.
Yeah, sure.
Mrs. GB doesn't want to. You'll help my marriage a lot.
I'll be your sounding board.
Thank you. Wombat, you're welcome too, but I think you may have actually played this game.
Yeah, and I don't think I know. And my sound is starting to go away.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's thank everybody for listening to our show this year.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. That was nice of you.
Come back next year.
Yeah, come back next year. We're going to be here.
We'll do more shows and more hijinks and less pants.
Probably the same amount of pants.
Nah, says you.
Okay, let's remind everybody to follow us on Twitter at GPD, at New Wombat, at Shipwreck, at Video Game Deals, of course. And we'll see you next week.
Bread's done.
Wombat, send me your file.
I will.
Later.
Goodbye.
Bye, Wombat. All right, Shipwreck, you're here for the Red Dead spoiler.
I am.
Even though you haven't played it.
I wandered around for an hour or so.
Right, that's good. Okay. I'm sure there's sirens going off warning everybody that there's spoilers now, because there's going to be spoilers. So do you know anything about how this game ends, Ship? Has it been spoiled for you at all?
I'm going to go with your character dies in a depressing but redeeming way?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So yeah, you die of tuberculosis.
Okay.
Well, not really. I mean, you're dying of tuberculosis and you get beat up while you're dying of tuberculosis. So, half a dozen of one, half a dozen of the other, but whatever. Mm-hmm. But yes, that does happen.
Shocking.
And then, yeah. I mean, well, that's how the first one ended.
Right, it's the formula.
Your character died, and then there's the redemption, I guess, afterwards. But the weird thing about this one is you play, I mean, like most of the game as Arthur Morgan, the main character.
Is that who I was riding around as?
Yes.
To begin with? Okay.
Correct. And then, you get to a certain point of the game and you learn that you have tuberculosis and that it's basically a death sentence. And as you say, you die in like in a depressing yet redeeming way. And then you take over as the character from the first Red Dead game, the one that you play as, John.
So this took place before the...
Yeah, this is a prequel. Okay. So now you've played so much of this game as Arthur Morgan. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And now you just take over as this other guy who's in the game an okay amount, but now I'm a totally new character. And there's just so much more game now still. There's two full epilogues to play through as a whole new character.
As John Marston. Okay.
And you don't really get there's such a disconnect between your time as Arthur. In fact, like you don't even go to visit his grave as John. I mean, maybe it's there if you know where to look. If you went online somewhere and figured out where to look. But there's no, it seems to me that's like a real lost opportunity to have an emotional moment where the new character you're playing as recognizes the things that Arthur did to help him and to get to, basically saved his life. Not basically, I think he did. And instead of that, you get a look at his grave during the 30 to 40 minute credit crawl. It flashes on the screen for a few seconds.
Okay.
Someone visiting his grave. Not John, somebody else. It's just like, why? And I don't know. For somebody who gets emotional at like long distance commercials, I had a very limited emotional reaction to this game. So, which is weird.
So you enjoyed it though?
I don't know.
Okay.
I felt like I was bamboozled in a way, just to like not be able to finish the game in a reasonable amount of time, so I wouldn't sell it back. But I don't know. I did like visiting all the different places, and the gameplay is the weakest part of the game.
That's kind of why I exited quickly.
You lock onto the guy, you pop up a little bit to get the headshot, and then you move to the next target. But mostly you're just riding the horse around. And it got to the point where I was doing the thing where you're basically on autopilot. If you you can switch to a cinematic camera mode, and that way you don't have to steer the horse when you're traveling. He'll just follow the path.
Okay.
Because it was just got to be a little too annoying, and I'm just like, enough already. This game, was this game ever going to end?
I mean, that's not even like totally revolutionary there either. Like in the Zelda games, the horse would follow the path as well.
Yeah, no, it wasn't anything revolutionary. It was just I was getting tired of.
Yeah, it's.
I almost wanted a rewind button. Like in Forza, when you're driving the horse, because you wreck your horse. I'd fall down a cliff because I like to live dangerously a little bit, and I like to ride on the side of cliffs, and I would fall down and have some spectacular crashes with the horse. But I don't want him to be hurt. I want to feed him more food. No, I enjoy the game, but I feel like. When Wombat first said the thing about the CW, I was like, no way, that's ridiculous. But the more I played of the game, I realized there's really, out of that whole 75 hours I played, there's no memorable lines. Not for, them being, cool or well written. There's some memorable ones for, being bad. But nothing that sticks out and that I'm going to remember for years and years and years, like some classic Western movies. Too.
Was that stuff in the first game?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I
did not make it. I mean, I made it further in the first game than I did in the second game, but this did not resonate with me on multiple levels.
Yeah, it's a rough start. It's a rough start for sure. And I get the challenge of trying to make a coherent story, an interesting story, span over, 70 hours. But I don't know. Maybe the game just didn't need to be that long. But it is what it is. Now I've said my piece, Shipwreck. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can spoil the end of Red Dead anytime for me.
All right, everybody. Have a happy New Year. Merry Christmas. We'll see you next year.
Bread's done again. Still done.
Yes.